Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of ExcelR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a light classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Wanna get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. ExcelR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with ExcelR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if ExcelR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with ExcelR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank ExcelR for being a part of it.
very much interested in learning digital marketing course for a very long period of time, but I don't get a proper platform. So later from our college, I get to know about ExcelR and I enrolled in ExcelR course. It was really good experience. Our course has been taken by Mayur sir, and he was very good teacher. He not only focusing on theory part, he's doing how real digital marketing works, and it was in total very good experience. I get so much of knowledge. Here they're not only focusing on study, they're also conducting different exam to test our knowledge, and as we are giving the exam, so to appreciate our work, they give certificates for the toppers, and along with the certificate they give hampers. Thank you, ExcelR.
Recently, I was searching for digital marketing courses online in Google, and I came across ExcelR, and I attended a digital marketing course which was for 15 days. My mentor Mayur helped me for attending these classes. So he is a very informative and helpful guy. In the course end, there is a exam which I topped. So I came to the ExcelR office in Bengaluru. This digital marketing course has helped my career and my skills to develop, and the certificate has helped my company to join. Thank you, ExcelR.
I came to know about this course from my college. Actually, for learning platform, this is very nice, and I learned from here ChatGPT and AI from online. Vikas is teaching for me for AI generative and ChatGPT. We are using this technology in more. And after finishing the courses, I came from for collecting the certificate. I seen the classrooms and faculties. Classroom is very nice. After the completion of exam, they will give gift and certificates. Thank you, ExcelR, for giving these courses. I learned a lot from this. I gained the more knowledge from here. And thank you for ExcelR for teaching us.
Good afternoon, I hope you all are doing well. I request please, can anyone confirm me is my voice audible? Okay, thank you for the confirmation. Prashant sir, good afternoon.
Hey, hi Sushmita, could you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Sure. Good to start?
Yeah, yes, sir, sure, you can start.
Thank you. Hi everyone, good afternoon. Happy Monday, everyone. So welcome back once again to our last week of the Agentic AI FDP. Okay. So we have successfully completed the previous week, and as well as like one more week before to that. Like there are 2 weeks already been done, and this is going to be our final week where we are going to cover a lot of exciting things, as you all have already have gone through some of the interesting and great things as part of our previous 2 weeks, right? Where you have got a broad exposure of how we can be able to create our own AI agents and how it's going to play an important role. Like all these things, we were been able to go ahead and like learn in depth appropriately. Right? So those are all are the things which we gradually learned when we move forward. So now in continuation to that, we are going to learn some more exciting things as part of our this entire week journey. Okay, so we will go ahead. We'll try to ensure that all the important topics are also being covered within this week. So now I'm going to explain to you about where we have left in our last session. Okay. So we will do one real agent development right now, like where we can create a very small front end. Till date, whatever we have done, like you see that in the Google Colab, right? So we went to Google Colab and then we developed a lot of different AI agents within the Google Colab itself, right? That was what we were actually working upon. So now what we are going to do here is like we will be able to proceed further and we'll try to understand what are all the different components we are going to work upon. Okay, so that's something I'm going to introduce. So I'm going to introduce you to the new world where you all can understand some more great things which are being available or which we all should ideally be aware of. Okay. And then we will also learn about the Crew AI. Crew AI is something which we are going to discuss. And still, if time permits, we also will look into N8N. I'm talking about this entire week agenda. Okay. In this entire week, these are all are the core concepts we are going to cover. Okay. N8N, Crew AI, and we will create multiple agents using the Crew AI. Okay. And then, as you know, last week we were talking about the Llama index. Right. So we are going to look into the Llama index today. So that Llama index we are going to complete off today. As I said you, right, there is one small part left over in the Llama index as a hands-on activity that we are going to complete it off today. With that, we will be done with our entire Llama index, Lang chain, Lang graph, all these concepts we have covered in the last week very extensively. And once it is completed, then we will move on to the new world altogether. That is a Crew AI. And then next to it will be the N8N. Okay. So yeah, let's get started. Let me share my screen to all of you. Give me a minute. Let me quickly share my screen to each one of you here. Okay, so let me explain to you that what we are basically going to cover right now using the Llama index. So the practical solution which we are going to work upon today is going to be something like where we are going to build a, okay, so we are going to really build a very smart customer support, right? We are going to build a like a smart customer support chatbot, right? This is what we are going to create using companies FAQ document. Okay, there will be companies frequently asked questions document. So what are we going to do here? If you see the problem statement very carefully, so in this scenario, like we are going to really build a smart customer support chatbot using your company's FAQ document, right? So 1 minute. Okay, sure. So right now, as I said, like we can build a customer support chatbot. So using the company's FAQ document is what we can be able to create it right now. So the context of this problem statement, whatever we are going to solve right now, right? It's more like in most companies, you know that FAQs are written in documents, but customers, they don't want to scroll and search through them. They want some quick and natural answers like chatting with a human being. So this project, whatever we are going to build, right, it will solve that by building a chatbot, like where the chatbot itself will try to read the entire FAQ document. Okay. It itself will be able to read the entire FAQ document on behalf of us automatically. Okay. So you don't need to do anything. Automatically, it will be able to read our entire FAQ document. Then it will also take the responsibility to understand the user questions. Okay. Whatever user is asking the question, it will try to understand it. Then it will try to give the accurate answer. Okay. It will try to go ahead and it will try to provide us the accurate answer using any AI model, like let's say ChatGPT. Okay. And we will also create a web interface, everyone. Till now, we have not created one such, right? So we are going to create even the web interface also. So we are also going to create the web interface also successfully. So these are the these are all are the important capabilities which we are going to solve today by developing a project. Okay, end-to-end solution we will do, like where we will ensure that our chatbot will help us out to read the FAQ document automatically. It will understand the users all questions, whatever they are asking. It will try to give us the accurate answers by using the GPT, and it will work in a web interface appropriately. Okay, so that's the core thing what we are going to work upon right now. So what are all the things, the tools and the technologies which we are going to use here? So the first one in this scenario here is Llama index is something which we are going to use. Why we need here Llama index? Llama index is needed because it is going to load your document, any document you are going to provide. If you remember in the last class or in the last week, I have explained in a very detailed way that Llama index is very much needed whenever you want to load any document into your GPT models or in your chatbot. If the AI model has to get to know about your document, if it needs to learn what exactly your document is all about, then Llama index plays a very important role there, where it is going to load your document and you can read all the content over there. Okay. And definitely we need a OpenAI. Okay, because this is like we need an API key from here where it will be able to connect to all your chat GPT models, which are there like GPT 3.5, GPT 4.0, GPT-4. These are all are the intelligent models which will help us to give us all the organized and intelligent answers for all of us. Okay. Then you have a very interesting thing called as a Streamlit. I don't know how many of you are already aware about it. Streamlit is something which we are learning new. Llama Index, OpenAI, you already know we covered in the last week about all the theoretical part and some hands-on activity. But coming to Streamlit, right? Streamlit is very much needed for us to build the chatbot as a web interface. Okay, so basically, when you talk about the Streamlit here is a Python tool. Okay, Streamlit, when we talk about, Streamlit is basically, it's a Python tool, which will help to turn your Python code into a very simple web application. So you don't need to know about HTML, CSS or JavaScript to create a web interface. Simply as a Python tool, you can use your Streamlit that will let you turn your entire Python code into a very simple web application where you don't need to know about any HTML, CSS, or JavaScript at the end of the day. Okay, so I mean, you write Python code, okay, your Streamlit will turn that into buttons, text boxes, and charts automatically. That is a capability of the Streamlit, where it will work as a web interface and will handle the things in a very simpler and in a lighter manner without even we touching about HTML, CSS, or JavaScript, or any Angular or a Flutter, anything as such, React. We don't need them. Okay, that's how Streamlit plays a very important role. Where using the Streamlit, we are going to develop as a Python tool, we are going to develop the web interface over here. Okay, so this is another important capability which every one of us here should be aware about. And then finally, like you are going to have the .environment file. This will help us to store the API key. Okay, so whatever the API key we are going to have, so we are going to see that the API key will be stored over here. Okay, so these are all are the important things we all have to consider. So you see that in this case, we have the Llama index, which will help us to load the document appropriately. We have OpenAI, which will help us to connect to ChatGPT. We have a Streamlit, which will help us to build the web interface appropriately. We have a dot environment, which will help us to store the API keys in a better manner. So these are all are the different tools and technologies which we can actually be able to leverage it. Then you need definitely a sample FAQ file, right? So that is a frequently asked questions file. You have to provide this to your chatbot. Otherwise, how will your chatbot get to know like what is that you are asking as a question? So definitely you need to have your frequently asked questions as a sample file. And then this as a sample file, you can be able to provide it into your chatbot. Okay, so your frequently asked questions will be able to enter into your chatbot and it is going to be present over there. So this is the document which we are going to provide within our chatbot so that it can be able to do some really great things. Okay, so this is one of the important thing which we are going to work upon right now. Again, I'm trying to reiterate so that you all should know the case study appropriately. So what we are trying to do here, everyone. So we are building a smart customer support chatbot using, imagine you have a company. So using your company's FAQ document, that is frequently asked questions document. So let's say, as I mentioned, in most companies, right, FAQs are written in documents, like, but customers, they don't want to scroll and search through them. So they really want some quick or natural answers like chatting with a human, right? So what is going to happen, the project, whatever we are trying to build right now, will have the capability to build a chatbot where it is automatically going to read the FAQ document on its own. It will understand all the user questions. It will try to give the accurate answers using the GPT. And it also works as a simple web interface where you can interact with the web interface and can ask all the questions, whatever you wanted. Okay, so that's the beauty of it, like where the tools and technologies, whatever are there, right? So we are ideally leveraging here the Llama index. The Llama index will be helpful for us to load all the document content with it. We also have the OpenAI, which will help us to connect to the GPT. We have a Streamlit, which will help us as a Python tool to interact as a web interface within the Python. And then we have the dot environment file, which is required to store the API key, which is confidential, and you should not be able to share the API key of yours to anybody. Otherwise, they will utilize your API key and you are going to pay for it. So better not to try to do any such type of activities. Okay, so those are the different tools and technologies which are being available. And finally, you need to have a sample FAQ file for you, right? Because until you don't give the FAQ document or the file to your chatbot, right, your chatbot will not understand way to answer the questions based on the customers who are going to ask. Okay, so you need to give a sample document as a FAQ to your chat. So this is what we all actually need to go ahead, build and develop it appropriately so that it can be able to handle the things without any constraints or difficulties. Okay, so this is what I just want to ensure that every one of us should ideally here be aware about. Okay, so now in order to proceed further and then try to work upon, so we will be able to move ahead and then try to understand like how things are going to work. I mean, and what are all the things we should be able to consider, right? How we can take it further. That's something we are going to discuss, right? Okay, so as you understood, like what we are going to develop. So now it is my responsibility to let you all know that how we can be able to proceed further, like one by one, and then handle the things appropriately. Okay, so to do this, right, what are all the prerequisites you need to have? I will explain to you. See, this is not something we are going to do in the Google Colab, because you have already seen in Google Colab everything, right? Now, this is something which I'm going to do it in my Visual Studio Code. Okay, the people who don't have any programming knowledge, right? So you can just be having an awareness about it. You don't need to dig deep and do a lot of things here. Just for your awareness or an idea, you can be knowing about it. Whereas others, okay, whereas others who are being there, right? So for others, I would say, if the people who know Python, the people who know about, let's say, the Visual Studio Code and everything, for you, you can just try to correlate and can be able to do it from your end. So basically, to do the solution or to do the problem statement, whatever we discussed right now, as many of you have asked me that I want to create my own AI agent, uh, like Google Colab, already we targeted a lot. We did a lot of AI agents there. So if I want to come out of the tool and do it in the Visual Studio Code, which is another IDE, same as like Google Colab only. Visual Studio Code is also IDE, but for Visual Studio Code, you have to install and make sure that it is there in your system. So I'm going to let you know the first step. What you need to do is, before you do and get started with anything, install Python. Okay, you have to install Python. If you are not going to install Python, forget about all the things which are needed. Okay, first step is you need to install Python. Now you may ask me, I have never installed Python right now, but still I was able to create AI agents and everything. But right now, on the third week, like, why you are asking me to install Python? Maybe that question would definitely pop up in your mind. So my answer to that would be, in the Google Colab, everything is installed default. Your focus will be majorly on installing some of the AI agents, which we have installed using the pip install, pip install, and then we were able to install all the required things. Okay, so that's one thing which we need to understand. So one step is to install the Python. Okay, and then the second important thing here is, like, as now we are going to set up everything on our own. Okay, so we need to take the responsibility to install them. If your systems already have Python installed, then you can skip this. That's not a problem. But remember one thing, everyone, when you're installing the Python, right, very important step. Installing Python is not a big deal. Like, just you have to go to the Python part. Let's say if I go here and say Python installation, okay? So let's say Python, see here, in the python.org, you have the downloads option available, right? In the python.org, right? So you see that here you can just be able to go ahead and can download it. So here there is an option for you to download. Just simply you have to click on this button where it will download the Python for you. If anyone is interested also, I'll share the link. Maybe in future when you want to install or you want to handle anything, at least it will be helpful for you. So this is where you can install the Python, right? Where you can click on the download option and it will be helping us out to download the Python appropriately. Okay, so that's one quick thing I just want to let you all know. Okay, once you download it, here one of the important point which I want to highlight here is, once you download, it will ask you at one point, okay, there is a checkbox like this. Like, you can say add Python to path, something like this, it will be there. You just enable it. Just you have to enable it. Rest all steps, next, and install only. There wouldn't be any big thing over there. Okay, just you have to enable it and say add Python to path. Okay, that's the first step, everyone, where we need to install the Python if it is not already there. And while you are trying to install Python, be very careful. Like whenever you get an option saying add Python to path, just enable it. The moment you enable this add Python to path, right, then you don't need to again manually do this step. Whenever you get this, just enable it. Okay, next step is we need to install. Okay, we have to go ahead and install the VS Code. That is nothing but your Visual Studio. Okay, so we need to go ahead and ensure that we are installing the Visual Studio Code appropriately. Okay, so that is another important thing which we all have to understand. So why Visual Studio Code? As I already informed to you, Visual Studio Code will play a very important role for us as an IDE, like where we can be able to go ahead and can develop, compile, and run our code within the Visual Studio Code. Okay. So how to download the Visual Studio Code? If you don't have one already, so you can go with Visual Studio Code. Okay, something like this. And once you click on this Visual Studio Code, so you have the download option here. Just you have to click on the download button. Okay, and once you click on the download button here, you don't need to follow any steps. The file will be downloaded. The moment your file is downloaded here, right, just say next, 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 and click on the install button. That's it. Your Visual Studio Code also is going to be downloaded automatically. So you don't need anything else. These are the only two things which are required for you to complete this project successfully, everyone. On one side, it is nothing but you need to install the Python, and the other side, you need to install the Visual Studio. Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes. People who want to install and download it, you can please be able to do it. I'll give you 2 minutes. People who already have, just wait for everyone to complete the installation. Just what you have to do, I'm also going to share this link to all of you in the main chat. Probably that can also be helpful for all of you. Okay, both the links I provided. One is to download the Python and another one is to download the Visual Studio Code. Once you download the Python, right, make sure that you are having this option. Okay, that is to install the to add the Python to path. I'll give you 2 minutes, complete the installation of these two steps. People who are interested, please do the installation of these two steps so that you can also be able to do the end-to-end project of the AI agent with me today. Please complete and let me know, everyone. Then we will proceed further to the next part. right? It is done, right, everybody? Okay, so everybody were able to go ahead and then try to complete this one. Okay, so this is one of the very important thing, and I hope that you all were able to go ahead and complete it successfully. So now observe what I'm going to do. Okay, so once both the installation is said to be done successfully, right? Once both the installation is done, then what you do, you go to your search bar, open your Visual Studio Code. So let's try to open the Visual Studio Code, which we have downloaded it. Okay, the moment you download it, you will see in the search bar, there will be a Visual Studio Code, which is going to come out. Okay, and then if you see here, what I did in this case is, I have to create a new folder. Okay, so I need to go ahead and create really a new folder. So what I will do is, I can create a new folder and can be able to create like whatever a folder which I want to go ahead and work upon. So that's one of the important point which I just want to highlight it to all of you. So what we are going to do in this scenario here is, so first I'm going to create a new folder. So what I will do, I'll go to my system and I'll go to the C drive here. Okay, I'll just go to my path. Wherever you wish, you can create it. That's not a problem. So I will go here, create a new folder. Okay, I will right click on it and then I'll say here, I need a new folder over here, and the new folder name, I just want to name it as what I can say. Okay, Chatbot. Okay, chat underscore bot underscore FAQ. Okay, something like this I can create it, like saying chat underscore bot and then bot underscore FAQ, something like this I can be able to create it. So now what I will do, I will go to my Visual Studio Code, but before that, let me have the code available here. Okay, so before we take this off, let's go here. Let's have our this thing and then, okay, so I need to create a dot environment, which I should not show the API key for all of you. So for a minute, I'm just stop sharing my screen, as my API key is something which is confidential. So let me have my OpenAI API key. And the problem with all of these things is like this open API keys and all, if they are gone, right? So that's going to become again a difficult thing. So everything we have to take care appropriately. Okay, so let's go back again and I'll share my screen to you. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll quickly go to the file, say here, okay, you have to go in here, there is a file option. So go to the file and then say here, open the folder. See in the file, there is an option called as open folder. You can click on open the folder. Now it will ask you like which folder you want. I would go to my C drive, right? I would just quickly go to my C drive. Just give me 1 minute. It got stuck all of a sudden. Yeah. So I would go to my C drive. Wherever I created, I'll go to that path, like in the C drive, users, and then I would go to my name. And here is where I created. I would just check for somewhere like Chatbot, which I created right now. Let me check where it is. Something like chat underscore, yeah, chat underscore bot underscore FAQ. Click on it and select the folder. You see that a folder has been created for us. Okay. If you observe here very clearly, I was able to create a folder normally. So what I did within my Visual Studio Code, right? Whatever my Visual Studio Code I have, right? I just came here. I simply said in this case that I need a file And within the file, I have an option called as open the folder. So the moment I went ahead and click on open folder, I went to the path where I have already created the new folder. So I just opened that folder and you see that it is right now available in my Visual Studio. Okay. So if you see here very clearly in this case, right? If you see here in this scenario, it is been very clear, okay, that where you could see that all of them are available here right now. Okay, if you see in this case, right, it is been very clearly available that where we have actually created this chatbot FAQ. Okay, so this is something which we were being able to go ahead and then try to see. So this is our folder which has been created successfully, and within this folder you will be able to see all of them being present here. Okay, so that's the first and foremost thing which I just want to let you all know over here. Okay, so hope that this is clear to all of you in this case. Okay, so this is one of the important point which I just want to make it very clear to all of you. So where we need here the chatbot, okay, we have the chat_bot FAQ. So this is something which we all should here be aware about and ensure that all the things are outlined appropriately. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here is within this, okay, within this we can really create some great things. Okay, within the chatbot FAQ only, we can really be able to go ahead and can create some cool files within that. So what I'm going to do in this scenario here is first, as my folder is available, that is chatbot FAQ. So now we need to go ahead and create an individual files within it so that it can be helpful for all of us. So first what I will do here is I'll create a new file, right? And that file name, I will say faq.txt. Okay. So create a file that is faq.txt. So this will be the file which your AI model will be able to pick it up. Okay. So you see that here, when you say faq.txt, faq.txt is nothing but this is the file which your AI model is going to pick the document, whatever we needed. So what are my FAQ questions here? See, here is where are my FAQ questions. See, if you observe here, the question is, how do I return a product? You can return a product within 30 days of delivery. Do you offer any free shipping? Yes, we offer free shipping on orders above 500. Okay. How do I cancel my order? Log in, go to my orders and click cancel order. Okay. So I will take this questions and will be able to add it here and say Control S to save your changes. Okay. So first I created my text file. You have to put .text. Okay. Otherwise it will, Visual Studio Code will not understand that this is a text file. Okay. So please take FAQ. You have to just create here. This is an option to create a new file. So I was able to create a new file called as faq.txt in this case. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here is the next step which I'm going to do is again, I am going to create a new file, and that new file is .env. Okay, .env. You need to say .env, that is a .environment. That is a file where we are going to store our API key. Okay, .environment. Okay, this is where I'm going to store my API key, the OpenAI API key. I forgot to say to all of you in the last session, okay, but I got to know one important point is, if you are logging in for the first time in the OpenAI, right, you will be given an API key for free of cost. Okay, API key will be given for free of cost. You will be given like $5 for free. Imagine if you know about the cloud services. For the first time when you log in, they will give you some credits to use all the services in the cloud. Same way in the OpenAI, right? When you log in for the first time, your email credentials, whatever you're going to use to log into the OpenAI API, right? So what will happen is, like, you are going to see when you are doing it for the very first time, you will be seeing that you will be given like $5 of free of cost. Okay, so you will be given like $5 for free of cost, where you are going to see that you can be able to utilize that $5 without any difficulties or constraints. Okay, So that's one core point which we all here should be aware about, like whatever $5 which are available, those $5 will be totally, I would say it's something like totally free of cost, which we can be able to go ahead and can utilize it appropriately. So how to do that? Let me explain to you so that you can also create your own API key and can do the same project, whatever I'm doing currently right now. Okay, not only this, anytime you can use the API keys, you will be given $5 for free. You will be recharged with $5. After that, you have to pay if you are using anymore. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'll just quickly go here. You just need to go to your OpenAI API, or otherwise just go to the OpenAI platform. Okay, so say OpenAI platform here and just click on the OpenAI platform in this case. So the moment you go ahead and click on this OpenAI platform, so you will be you will be logging into your OpenAI platform. Okay, the moment you enter into the OpenAI platform, and if your Gmail account is a new account where you have not already used the OpenAI API, right? Then you will be given $5 for free of cost. See here in the pricing, right? If you go to the pricing, so in the pricing, it will show you all these things, but we don't need to go to that part. Okay, but otherwise, once I click on the overview, see these are all are the models available for us. Okay, you see that these are all are the different models available. So you can just be able to go ahead and you can just see that you will be given $5 automatically. Okay, can go to the dashboard and you can play around with it. Okay, so you can see here you'll have your API keys. Okay, so you will see that your API key will automatically be created. I mean, automatically means you just need to go ahead and create your API key from there on your own. Okay, that's one thing which I just want to highlight to all of you. So the moment you enter into your platform.openai.com, so you should be giving your Gmail credentials. The moment you provide your Gmail credentials, right? Then if it is a first time account, you will be given $5 for free of cost, and then you can create your own API key and you can use that API key wherever you want it. Okay, so that's something which I just want to let you all know. So you can click on your API keys, and here is where you can create your key. Okay, so you have an option to create a new secret key. Click on it. Just provide the name of the key and say create the secret key and copy that key. It will not be shown again. Okay, just you have to copy that key. You just need to copy the key where you go to APIs, and there is an option to create a new secret key. Click on that create new secret key. The API key will be created and you can be able to copy that and store it in your notepad or a Word document. Save that file, because once the API is shown, right, that is it. Again, after which, if you want to see your API key, it will never be revealed. So you have to be very careful. Okay, if you forgot or if you miss, again, you need to create a new API key, because your previous API key will only be shown once. After that, it will never be revealed to you at all. So that is important clarity, which I just want to let you all know, which is said to be considered as a very important thing. Okay, so that's one of the point which I just want to highlight it to all of you so that you can be aware about the process. Okay, so once you create an API key there, right? So that you have to store it here. That API key you need to bring and put it within the .environment file. So you see that here, whatever the file which I created here, right? .env, that's an environment file. Within that, you need to provide your API key. So I'll stop sharing my screen for a minute here and will add my API key, as it is a confidential one. So I cannot be able to show you the entire API key there. So let me add it here. Okay, so this is how the key would be added. Let me share my screen. So if you see in this case, so this is my OpenAI API key. So within my .environment, right? Within your .env, I was able to go and add my OpenAI API key over here. If you see very specifically and clearly, this is my OpenAI API key within the double quotes. You need to have your double quotes, and within your double quotes, whatever API key you are going to create from the platform.openai.com, right? That key you need to take, and then you need to be able to add it over here in the OpenAI API key. You will see that the key is said to be stored inside it. That's it. So this is what you all actually need to do. like where you have to get that particular OpenAI API key and you should be able to add it here, okay, without any difficulties or constraints. So that's one of the important thing which we all here should be considering. Okay, so hope that this makes sense to all of you. So this is one of the very important thing which I just want to highlight it to all of you. Okay, so what next? So as our OpenAI API key is already there, we already created our FAQ document, that is frequently asked questions. Now what I will do here is I will again create a new file and I'm going to name that file as whatever you want. You can provide it, support_bot.py. Py is mandatory because that will make the Visual Studio understand that is a Python extension. And click on enter. You see that I created here support_bot.py and here py is your Python extension. Okay, so support_bot and then you have your .py as your Python extension where you can see that your Python extension is available. Now one more important point. Okay, so what will happen here is, first of all, I am going to take the code from here. Okay, so let's first take the code. I will say you what is happening in this case. So first, when I'm going to take this code here, right? First of all, if you see very clearly, everything is little bit colorful in this case. You see that these are all like little purple in color, green in color, orange in color. You see that these are all your different colors which are here being present in this scenario. Okay, if you see these are all your different colors which are being present for all of us. So now what is basically happening here, you know? This is so colorful because you see in the Visual Studio Code, right? There is something called as extensions that will come default. You don't need to add anything there. Okay. So you have here extensions in this case. If I click on extensions, in the extensions, you have something called as a Python over here. Okay. You click on Python. See, you will see Python coming like this. Okay. Where you can click on Python and then you can be able to install. So if I click on Python, see, I have installed it already, but if you have not installed, you will see there is an install button. Try to install Python. So I know you may be thinking that I already installed Python. Then again, see, in the Visual Studio Code also you have the Python as an extension. So in the Visual Studio Code, what you need to do is, so you see there is an extensions option. You just need to go to the extensions, ensure that you are trying to, in the search bar, you are trying to click on Python. And then you see that here Python is available. You can just click on this and can say install. So you will be able to install the Python automatically. Okay? You will be able to go ahead and you are going to see that whatever Python is present. Okay, so we are just going to install that Python. And with that, you are going to see that your Python, whatever is present, right? It is set to be installed successfully in our system. Okay, so just you have to go here, install it. The moment you install the Python, then only your file will be looking more colorful like this. Okay, otherwise you cannot be able to go ahead and handle this. Okay, if you are assuming that why everything is white in color, but why it's not colorful as what I am displaying to you, the only reason would be that in the extensions, you wouldn't have installed the Python. So you just need to go to the Python and then you just need to say here install. The moment you install your Python successfully within the Visual Studio Code extensions, right? Then you go to your file and here you have your support_bot.py. Now here is where I'm going to explain to you that how this code is going to play an important role. See, code understanding should be easier for all of you. As you know, we have already discussed the code number of times previously also, because here I'm showing you more like an approach. Right? Here I'm showing you more like an approach so that you all can understand the approach here. Like, because till now, we have not been able to do anything in the Visual Studio Code. Whatever we were been able to do, right? It is all in the Google Colab itself, right? Apart from that, we did not do anywhere. Okay, but again, let's go and understand what we are trying to do over here. So if you see very clearly, so first of all, we are creating a chatbot using what you already know. One is Streamlit. As I was explaining it theoretically, I gave you a clarity. First step is we are going to import the Streamlit because it is meant for the web interface. Okay, so here we are importing the Streamlit, which will let us build a simple web application. okay, or a web app or a chatbot interface will be created. So if you want to show any text boxes or any buttons in a web page, right, then Streamlit plays a very important role as a web interface for all of us. Then obviously you see that here I am trying to like download or get the llama index. Okay, as you know, we are importing, well, like we are importing the two important parts within the llama index. One here being the simple directory reader. Okay, this will read your all FAQ files. Your simple directory reader will go ahead and will try to read all your FAQ files. So whatever FAQ file we are going to, we have already created. Once we run it, the simple directory reader will pick that FAQ file and will read all the information present within it. And vector store index. This will create a searchable memory. That means what will happen is simple directory reader anyhow will read the file FAQ.txt. But whereas your vector store index, which is there on the other side, right? So your vector store index will be able to go ahead and it is going to understand. Your vector store index will store that in the memory. So what will happen is every time it is not dependent on document. Yeah, for the first time, it will take the document that is whatever we created here, that is our FAQ.txt. Okay. For the first time, what it will do, it will go ahead, it will read the document because it doesn't. After that, what will happen is this vector store index will put it in its memory. So whenever user is repeating the same question 2 times, 10 times, 100 times, then you don't need to every time go to the document. Whatever is available in the system memory or AI model memory, we can be able to fetch that and can reveal the answer from there. Okay, so you see that here, that's how your vector store index will ensure that it is going to create a searchable memory, okay, from the FAQ. And you also have your simple directory reader where it will read all your FAQ, okay, where it is going to ensure that it is going to read your FAQ files without any difficulties or constraints. Okay, so that's one important point I want to highlight to all of you. Okay, and then you also see that here there are again, I mean, you have again here some of the important points like OS. What is OS? OS will let you work with your system variables. Okay, if you see here in this scenario, right, OS means it's something, it's going to make your like it's going to ensure that it is working with the system variables appropriately. And then you have the dot environment. This will help you load the keys from the dot environment file. So whatever the dot environment file is there, right, where we have the OpenAI API key. Okay, so this dot environment will help us out to load the keys from this file, that is dot environment file. Okay, that's the point we all have to understand. Now here is where, if you see, I'm saying very clearly in this case, okay, so please load the dot environment file, whatever I created here. Load the dot env, that is your dot environment file. And within the dot environment file, okay, whatever OpenAI API key is there, set that OpenAI API key so that the ChatGPT can be able to work upon. So think of this as, it says, log me into ChatGPT using my secret key. That's what is happening here. Okay. So just whatever in the dot environment, my API key is present. So that API key will be preserved successfully. Okay. So that is what I'm saying. Load the dot environment, and within the dot environment, whatever OpenAI API key is present, it should be able to go ahead, get that OpenAI API key appropriately in order for us to proceed further. Because without this loaded, you cannot be able to authenticate and log in yourself to the ChatGPT AI model. Okay. Now, what is the next thing we need to do here? The next thing, if you observe here, right? So this line, whatever I'm highlighting here, this line will read any text file in the current folder. So in the current folder, you see that this is like within the double quotes, whatever dot you see, that's a current folder. In the current folder, which I created chatbot underscore FAQ, where is the text file? The text file is present here. That is FAQ.txt. Okay, it will take that as a readable document. Okay, dot means what? Dot means in the current folder only. So in the current folder, you have your FAQ.txt. So simple directory reader, you remember I said you, this will come into the picture and it will try to read the document, whatever FAQ.txt which is available. It will load the data and it will look into all the information which is available within the FAQ.txt. Okay. And then you have here the index. Okay, so now as you see, index means, as I said, right, this will turn your document, whatever got loaded in the previous step. So this vector store will try to turn that loaded document, okay, that entire loaded document will be turned into a searchable knowledge base right now. Okay, it will be turned into such a way that it will be as a searchable, like it's something like it's a searchable knowledge base. So like let's say if I'm making a mini Google that can search just my FAQs. So basically it's like a memory loader. As I said you, right? Once the document is being read, then it will go to the memory loader. So memory loader is going to store everything within the memory only. Okay, so that we can be able to handle the things appropriately. So within the memory, all the important and crucial documents are going to be stored so that we can be able to utilize it more proactively. Okay, where it is going to turn all your loaded documents into a knowledge base so that tomorrow if any questions come, so it knows the AI model has created its own knowledge base and it can be able to respond to your solutions from there itself directly. Okay, and then you have your query engine in this case. If you see here very clearly, there is a query engine over here. So when I say query engine, right, what does this mean? Query engine means this is a tool where you can see that your questions are going to be accepted. It will search your frequently asked questions, search your FAQ, and then your GPT will be able to generate the answers based on the whatever matching info is going to happen in the FAQ.txt document. Okay, so if you see very clearly here, this is the query engine. So within this query engine only, you will be able to see like where you can ask your question. Your question will be accepted, whatever you're going to ask. It will search the FAQ document, whether if anything is matching to it. If it is yes, your GPT, whatever you're using as an OpenAI API key, right? It will be able to go ahead and will try to reveal the answer to you. Okay, that's how your GPT will play an important role here to generate the answers based on the matching info, whatever is present. So that's the clarity we need to be here aware about as part of the query engine. Okay, now moving to the Streamlit over here. Now these are the configuration only for the Streamlit. So what I'm trying to do, so first I'm providing the title for my Streamlit. st.title. St is nothing but the short form for the Streamlit. Okay, so here what I'm trying to do is I am just trying to show here the title at the top of my chatbot. Okay, here I'm trying to show the title. Okay, I'm trying to show the title at the top of my chatbot. That is nothing but your customer support chatbot will be the title, which is available at the top of my chatbot web application. Okay, and then you have a space for the question. Okay, this is going to show you a text input box. Here is where you will see a text input box will be present. Okay, if you see here very clearly, there is going to be the text input box over here where users can basically type their questions. Okay, this is the input box where the user can input whatever question they want. And when the user types the question, if you see here, right, when the user types the question, it is first sent to the query engine. Okay, and from the query engine, GPT will read the matching part from the FAQ document, whatever we added. Then it will show us the full response from it. Okay, then it is going to show us the entire response, whatever is needed for us. That's it. Okay, basically what will happen, whatever question will be asked over here in the Streamlit. So if there is a question that has to go to the query engine, so from the query engine, GPT will be able to pick it up. It will check whether if it matches to the FAQ. If yes, it will respond to it. If not, it will try to respond based on whatever question you are asking. Okay, that's how your entire code is being present here. So ultimately, what are we trying to do here? If you observe here very carefully, so first, we have imported the Streamlit, which is going to play a very important role as a web interface, because without that, we cannot be able to connect. Okay, then we are trying to have our Llama index. Simple directory reader is to pick up the file, FAQ file, and then read it. Vector store index will memorize whatever is available in the document, that is FAQ.txt. And then we are importing the OS operating system, and then we are also trying to get the dot environment. So within the dot environment, whatever my API key which I stored, so that API key will be utilized in my program to take it further. Okay, so those are all are the things which are required. Then I am loading my dot environment file, and from there I'm picking my OpenAI API key, which I created within that. And then here what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to load the document. So simple directory reader from the current folder where it's going to pick up the FAQ.text. Okay, and then the vector store will be able to memorize the data, right? The vector store index is going to memorize the data here in the documents. And then you have your query engine. Your query engine will be able to take up or accept the question. It will accept first your question. It will take to the GPT. It will try to match the FAQ document and will try to respond to us. Okay. And here is the Streamlit feature, where in the Streamlit, you can first provide the title of the Streamlit, that is customer support chatbot. And then later you can give the space for the users to ask the question. So here is where the text input will be there, where user can ask question. So if anybody is asking the question, that the response should first go to the query engine, and the query engine should be able to, whatever we initialized here, right? It has to go to that query engine. So once it goes to that query engine, it should be able to send it to the GPT, whatever API key you are using. OpenAI belongs to ChatGPT. So it will go to ChatGPT. From there, it will be able to look into the FAQ, whether if there are any related questions. If not, if there are no related questions, then immediately it will be able to go ahead and will try to answer on its own using the GPT intelligence. Okay. And then it will give you in the Streamlit. ST means Streamlit. So within the Streamlit itself, we are going to see that the response is going to be provided. Okay. So you need to understand that here within the Streamlit itself, your response is going to be provided. So now I need to run it. Okay. My code is ready. My code is here ready. My text document is ready. That is my FAQ document is also ready. And then my .env file is also there, because that's where my OpenAI API key is being stored. So now what I'm going to do here is, as you see that everything is readily available. Now in the Visual Studio Code only, there are 3 dots available here, not this one. The one above, that is file, edit, selection, view is there, right? Beside that, there are 3 dots available. Click on those 3 dots and you have an option called as the terminal, and you need to say here new terminal. Okay, there are 3 dots there at the top. Once you click on it, you will see there is a terminal option, and you just simply say new terminal here. So you see that first of all, a new terminal is going to be created here. So this is my new terminal. Right here, you see that this is my new terminal here, where you have the C drive and my path. And then I created a folder called as the chat_bot_FAQ. So what I'm going to do right now here is I need to run this. Until you don't run this, how could you be able to know that this is running successfully or not, or whether if it is having any failure associated with it? So in order to do this, we have to ensure that it is running successfully. So what I would do here is I'll just simply say here Streamlit run, and I need to provide the file. My file name is here support_bot.py. Okay. So what I need to do in this case, if you see very clearly, I just need to say here Streamlit run, and whatever the file you have here, right? The Python file. So I would say here that is support_bot.py. Okay. This is what I need to go ahead and run. So let's try to run this. Click on enter and let's see whether if it is giving any error or whether it can run. So let's try to observe what is going to happen over here. So it's still loading. Yeah. Okay. It says that it will automatically load. Let's see what is going to happen here. So first it's loading the Streamlit. It's running. Let's just wait. See, it is in the local host. Right, you see that it is in the local host and the port number is 8501. Automatically it will only create. You don't need to do anything. The moment you go ahead and run here, that is saying like Streamlit run support_bot.py. The moment you run this, you'll see that it will load this file. So give a minute. Let's see what it is going to do here. The moment it is downloaded successfully, right? Then let's see. Okay, so it is still running. So at the back end, it is running. And once it is run successfully, the code, right, you will be able to see the Streamlit being created here successfully. Okay, you see that it is loaded successfully. Okay, if you observe here very clearly, in this scenario, it is been here loaded very successfully, and you could see that it is also been present, like ever to as a title. So you see that everything is here very clearly been present. Okay, so you see, I mentioned it very clearly in my code that it should have the customer support chatbot as a title. Okay, let's go to the Visual Studio Code and let me show you there. So if I scroll down, see, in the Streamlit, I said my title should be the customer support chatbot, and it gave me that. And the question it should be, there should be a text box where the user should be able to input. See here. So customer support chatbot. Okay, here is the input box where you can ask any question and say here, ask a question from our FAQ. That also I mentioned, see, ask a question from our FAQ. So it is giving it according. Okay. Now what I need to do here is simply, I can go and ask a question like, hey, how do I return a product? Something like this I can ask. Okay. Let's say I would say, how do I return a product? And let's click on enter. Let's see what it is going to say me. Okay, it's running. So it says that, see, you can return a product within 30 days of delivery. Let's now see our FAQ document. So in the FAQ document, you see, how do I return a product? See, you can return a product within 30 days of delivery. So let's say, for an example, now I will say, is free shipping available? Okay, let me ask something like this. Okay, so is the free shipping available? Let's go and try to go ahead and ask. Let's see what it will do. Yes, free shipping is available on orders above 500. You see that? It's giving me. Okay. Now let's say I want to cancel my order. Okay, I want to cancel my order and you have to help me. Something like this I asked. Okay, let's see what it is going to do. Okay, so it says that login, go to my orders and click cancel order, because that's what I said. Okay, so you don't need to precisely ask the question. It will only find out the keywords and then it will identify whatever suits and then it will let you know. Okay, now for an example, I'll say, who are you? Okay, let's see what it will answer. See, sometimes you may ask a question which is not at all related to FAQ which we have uploaded it. Then how it is going to act? It uses GPT intelligence then. You're getting my point, right? So then it will be able to go ahead and use the intelligence which the GPT is having there. So GPT is anyhow having its own intelligence. So it will utilize that intelligence and then it will answer. Let's say, who are you? I will say it is not mentioned in our FAQ document. And let me click on enter and see what it will say me. See, I am a customer support chatbot designed to assist with queries related to the FAQ provided in the file. I did not ask any such type of question or did not upload anything as such. See, if you see in my FAQ.text, there is nothing as such, but still it was able to give you an intelligent answer. Why? Because you are using the OpenAI API key at the backend, right? So it is an intelligent model. It's not just going to act like weird. It will definitely be able to respond to you and it will say you all the related answer which can be helpful for all of us. Okay, let's say I will ask, what is capital of India? Let's see what it will do. Okay, what is capital of India? Something like this. Let's see what it will do. See, I am sorry, I cannot provide an answer to that question based on the context information provided. So it is not related to the context. You see that? So if you see, this is how your FAQ.text you are provided. So it will stick to the context and it will ensure that it will give you all the meaningful answer. Okay, so that's how you have to make sure that you provide some documents and then you can create some front end like this where users can be able to go ahead, ask any question related to FAQ and it will be able to go ahead and provide the answers to all of us at the end of the day. Okay, so this is one of the most important thing which I just want to let you all know here. Okay, so hope that this is clear to all of you. So this is one of the most important thing which I just want to make it very clear to all of you? So if you see in this scenario, there is a customer support chatbot where we created. Now you can ask any question from FAQ rather than going through the entire document, and it will be able to search, and it is going to give you the great answers associated with it. Right? As I said, I want to know what is the shipping policy, something randomly like this, but it is related to FAQ only. Let's see what it is going to. Okay, the shipping policy offers free shipping on orders above 500. So it is intelligent enough. You don't need to ask exactly the question which is available here. Okay, you can ask in whatever way you want. It will be able to go ahead and can reveal the final answer to all of us. Okay, so that's the overall clarity I just want to let you all know at the end of the day. Okay, so this is the core capability which we all should ideally here be aware of what is actually happening. Okay, so yeah, this is what is understanding which I just want to let you know, where we have created our own end-to-end application without using the Google Colab. So we created our own chatbot by using the front end, that is using Streamlit. We were able to go ahead, develop one such AI agent where it will go through the FAQ as a context, and it is going to reveal all the answers to us at the end of the day. Try to create your own free OpenAI API key, everyone. You will be given something like $5, provided if you have not used that email at all in the OpenAI previously. If you have already used, then it will not give you. But if you have not used, so I think you'll be given $5. From there, you can create an API key and you can utilize that API key in the code. Okay, I'll be sharing the code right now. I will also give you the syntax that what you need to do in the .environment file. Okay, and I'll also give you the FAQ.txt file so that you can also be able to create it from your end and can create some great AI agents like this, where you can ask questions and it should be able to respond to you to see their like responses in a better manner without any difficulties or challenges. Okay, so that's the core capability which I just want that you all should be able to do it from your end. This is how an end-to-end AI agent is going to work, everyone, which we were being able to develop right now. Okay, so now let me give you the file so that you all can be able to use it. So first step is here, I will write everything so that it will be easier for all of you. So what I'm going to do here, in this case, let's say this is like, what is the name I provided to it? I just provided the file name as support underscore bot.py. Okay, this is the file. Okay, don't take this into consideration. That's a file. Okay, and then for this, what is that I created? I just created FAQ.txt file. Okay, this is another file which I created it, and then you can create the .env file also. So within that, you can also be able to have your OpenAI API key. Let me have that API key. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Let me add the OpenAI API key from here. So let's quickly go on. Okay, let's quickly go on here. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's remove this. Save image. Okay, perfect. So right now, if you see, this is AI agent. Save this. Okay. Let me reshare my screen back again. So if you observe here very clearly, so this is your dot environment. Okay, I gave you the syntax. OpenAI API key equal to within the double quotes. Okay, so OpenAI API key will be like this. Okay, you have your .env file created. So within your .env file, right? Okay, within your .env file, you see that there is OpenAI underscore API underscore key. So within your OpenAI API key, there are double quotes present. So within that double quotes, okay, so whatever double quotes you have, within these double quotes, you can be able to go ahead and can add the related content here. Okay, so you can be able to see that there are double quotes present. So within the double quotes, you can add your related API key. Whatever API key you are going to create, that API key should be presented here. That's it. These are the only 3 files you need to be able to have. Okay, and in the above steps, I just want to highlighted you Okay, I just would like to go ahead and then try to highlight here. Okay, so I would just say first you need to create a new folder. Okay, you need to create a new folder over here, and that create a new folder means that can be anything like, let's say, I created here like something chat underscore bot. Okay, something like this. I created, like, you can create your own file. That's absolutely fine. So I can say chat underscore bot underscore FAQ is what I created it. So I created a new folder. After I created a new folder, then what I did here, I went to my Visual Studio Code. I'm putting all the steps so that you will never forget about it. While you see the document, you can be able to recollect it. In the Visual Studio Code, what I did, I opened the file. In the file, I was able to click on open folder. So wherever the folder is present or wherever you created it, okay, so you have to go open, say open folder, and then open the folder like whatever you created, that is chat underscore bot underscore FAQ. Okay, this is what needs to be created. That's it. And then later after that, create files in the support underscore bot dot py. Ensure that this is being created here successfully. And then later create FAQ dot text, and within that you provide this content, and create a .env file, put OpenAI API key, and within the double quotes here, you have to put your API key. Okay, you just need to mention whatever API key you are going to create it for free of cost within the OpenAI API key, right? So that API key you need to provide it here. Okay, I have already shown you. If your email account is new account, right? If your email account is a new account, take that new email account and then try to log into your OpenAI platform. So the moment you enter into your OpenAI platform, you will be given $5 for free of cost. So from there, you can create your own API key, use that API key, and you can be able to paste it over here. That is it. This is what you all need to do overall here. So I'm just sharing this document to all of you so that it can be easier for you to follow. And I'll give you 5 minutes or 5 to 7 minutes of time where I would request you all to complete this. The people who want to go ahead and do it from your end, you can complete this activity. I've already given you time to install the Python and the Visual Studio Code from your end. So once those two are successful, or already if it is present in your system, you can simply do this. I'm anyhow sharing the file to all of you right now. Take this file, create all the steps, whatever I've explained to you. If you're stuck anywhere, feel free to let me know. Or if you don't want to do at this point of time, or if you have joined through mobile, I would request you to go through all the steps, whatever I've explained to you, so that in future, when you want to like implement or execute it, right, it will be easier for you to follow it up. Okay, so I'm just quickly sharing this document to all of you in the chat so that it can be easier for you to follow it. Okay, I'm just sharing the AI agent end-to-end document has been shared. So with all the code, the FAQ.txt file, and then the .environment file. Okay, I've just shared everything to you. So please utilize it appropriately so that you can be able to handle it in a better approach. Okay, yeah. I'll give you 5 to 7 minutes of time, everyone. Please go ahead, complete this activity. Ultimately, what you need to do, you should be able to get something like this. And here in the customer support chatbot, you need to go ahead and you should be in a position to ask questions. And for these questions, you should be able to see that the responses are being provided automatically based on the FAQ document, whatever you were being able to upload it into the Visual Studio Code. Okay. So you should be able to upload everything in the Visual Studio Code, and it will be able to respond to you based on whatever questions you have. Okay. So that's the clarity which we all should be able to have as part of the customer support chat. Okay. So you can please go ahead and ensure that all the details are being added appropriately over here. Okay. So please complete. So please complete this and do let me know once you are done with it. Just acknowledge it in the chat, highlighting that you are done with this particular process. Okay, please complete and do let me know everyone, okay, in the chat. Yeah, it is same as vector database only, correct. Yes, you can do some more customizations only. Vector index store Nilesh is nothing but vector DB only, okay. Yeah, it can also be a paragraph which you can be able to try it from your end, Nilesh, okay. Yes, whatever steps you have asked, okay, so it should be clear. Okay, so yeah, please go ahead and complete it, everyone. Okay, so okay, the first thing is please inform how to get the free OpenAI key once again. Okay, see OpenAI API key as I mentioned already. So what you need to do here is you just need to go to your OpenAI platform. Okay, you just need to say here OpenAI platform like this. So it will allow you to open the OpenAI platform. So the moment I click on my OpenAI platform, right, it will ask me my credentials. So the moment you enter into it, okay, the moment you enter into it, you just need to log in. So here there is a button to log in. So you click on the login button. Okay, it will be able to ask you to continue with the Google. So you can continue with the Google. Okay, let me log in with my Google account. So give me a minute. I'm just saying continue with the Google. Okay, so right now, if you observe here very clearly, so first I have logged in with my Google account. Okay, so here is where you see, and then what is going to happen? Go to dashboard here. There is a dashboard button, right? You can go to the dashboard over here and then click on the usage. Okay, in the usage, right? So if you observe over here, it will show you that how much usage you have over here. Okay, so if you wish, you can be able to go ahead and see, like here, it will show you $5. Okay, it will be able to show you $5 over here. If your email is eligible, once you come to the dashboard here, in the dashboard, it will show you, okay, that $5 in this case. If it is a $5 over here, then what will happen? You will be able to see the total spend in this case as a $5 over here. Then what you are going to do, you click on the API keys here. Okay, just underneath that, you click on API key, and now say here, create a new secret key. When you have to create an API key, when you see in the usage, that if you get the $5 there, if $5 is visible in the total spend, if it is visible, then you click on the API keys and then create a new secret key. There is a button towards the right hand side to create a new secret key. Provide any name, whatever you want. Say that my key. What happened? So, okay, let me say my key here. And then you say create the secret key. Just click on here the create secret key. See, this is how your secret key will be created. It will be shown to you for the first time. Copy this. Just you have to copy it and then paste it in any of the document which is being there for you. Okay, just you can copy this key and then you can be able to put it in whatever document you have and then save it. So this key is what you need to use as an API key. That's it. This is what we need to do it. Okay, hope that this is clear to you. So this is the process. Once you log into let me do one thing. I'll also share the URL. In that way, it would be easier. Let me put it in the main chat. Okay, so in the main chat, I already have kept the OpenAI API. Just you have to go to it and then click on the dashboard option. Once you log in with your Gmail account, go to dashboard and then you see that in the usage, you will see whether any free money has been or any free dollars have been given or not, like 5 or a 4, whatever number it may be. If it is more than 0, then immediately you can go and can click on API keys, create a new secret key and get started with it. So that API key, you need to use it from your end. Okay, that's the process, Deepa, altogether. Yeah, thank you. Streamlit is for the front end, Nilesh. Okay, whatever you are seeing here, right? Whatever we created here, the Streamlit part. Okay, so let's say this is the Streamlit, where you have a front end. In the Google Colab, what we were doing, everything in the code only we were running. But this is Streamlit, which is available as a Python library. Okay, for what purpose we have Llama Index? Llama Index is there to read the document. Now, what is the document here? That is FAQ.text. FAQ.text is required because Llama Index will go and will read the content which is available in the FAQ.text. So, Streamlit Llama Index is completed. Okay. Now, where will OpenAI come into the picture? See, you need some model to run the agents. Your agents cannot run on its own. Right? All these agents like Llama Index, Streamlit, if they really want to work, they need a support. Okay, they need a model. Because model is the brain, right? Imagine we are saying like, we are having a human being without a brain. Then that person will not have intelligence, right? Same thing here also. You have Streamlit, you have Llama Index. I know Streamlit can create a good web interface. Llama Index can pick up any documents and can understand it. But where is the brain to think intelligently and give the answer to the users like you and me? Now, today, when I'm asking a question over here, whatever I ask, it's able to give me the answer. It's able to pick up from the FAQ document and it is giving me the answer successfully. Okay, or when I am asking who are you also, it is giving me intelligently an organized answer. Or if I'm giving anything outside the FAQ, it says that please stick to the context that is nothing but your FAQ document and ask me only related to it. So that intelligence, where it is coming, or where it is able to understand the document and it is able to give you the answers in a better manner. It is all happening using your AI models only. And one such AI model which we were being able to take was OpenAI ChatGPT model using our OpenAI API key. You can also use Copilot API key. You can also use your Gemini API key, or you can use your Claude API key. You can use any of the API key. These are all the AI models which are available to us. So you just need to go and use those API models and then try to understand, and then you have to be able to take it up further. So that's the clarity we all have to be aware about in this scenario. Okay. So that's the clarity or the understanding with which we all have to be able to move ahead and proceed further without any difficulties. Okay. So that's the main thing, Nilesh. So OpenAI key, that's OpenAI API key is nothing but it is connecting to ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is majorly for intelligence to organize and give the answer appropriate. Okay. So if you see, here is the OpenAI code. Okay. So if you see in this part, this is the one. Okay. Line number 7, line number 8 is where you have your OpenAI API key. You may ask me, why didn't you put the API key here? As I said I have my API key where? In my .environment file here. If you see, in my .environment file is where I have my API key present. Okay. So that's the one. So if you see in this case, this is my API key, OpenAI API key available. So this is where I added in my .environment file. And here is where I'm calling that OpenAI API key, Nilesh. In the code perspective, if you want to know, this is what I'm trying to do currently. Okay, yeah, that is to secure the key. Correct. It's a secure credential, I would say. Okay. Yeah, if you give bigger documents, Ravi Kumar, or if you are going to send a huge file, then definitely whenever you're calling that API, that will go with a huge billing. Okay, you're getting my point, right? So more the data or more the content you are going to provide, it is going to consume a lot from you. In terms of billing, it will consume a lot and you have to pay again at the end of the day, we should hear aware about. Okay. So if you give more, you have to pay more. If you give less, you have to pay less. Because at the end of the day, that's the business. Deepak, key generated. Excellent. Good job. Keep it up. You can proceed further. Just like free model. See, free models are not effective actually, Nilesh. You have free models in Hugging Face. Okay, there is Hugging Face, but those free AI models, again, at the end of the day, those are not having much quality, I would say. Okay, they are not having much quality in giving the results. I can say you, like we have a MobileNet V2 model. Okay, so there are some good models in Hugging Face, but again, those are not very proactive in giving the answers. Better what you can do is, already in our class only, many of them have created the keys for free of cost. Just to experiment it, you can do, right? $5. Okay, just if free of cost, they will give you the API key, you can use and can generate it. Okay, but at the end of the day, this is all business, Nilesh. Everything, if you really are interested to do some business, you have to put 500 rupees aside, get some API key and work on it like using your code. The moment you felt that I don't want it anymore, then leave it like that. Don't go more than that. Right? Because if you really want to do some real-time scenarios, you need some really great AI models. You cannot go with existing or old models because free models will not generate the answer what we expect at the end of the day. They don't have such intelligence because those are free of cost. Nobody would try to improve or update anything on top of it. Okay. No, not lot of money. Even the bigger, huge files also based on my like whatever experience I have, it will not go like 1,000 or 2,000 rupees like that. Okay, hardly with a very big file, huge file like 1 TB or a very big file if you are providing, then you have to think through. Small files, like even if you give a big PDF files, it's not going to create a problem, and everything is tokenized. Okay, so how many words you are using, based on that only it will charge you. Okay, so don't worry about much. Okay, so PDF files and all we can be able to use, and it's not going to charge or lots of money in this scenario. Okay, but if you wish, you can also use your free AI models whenever you have some time. Okay, you can also be able to work upon that if you believe that that is needed for us. Okay, so this is also completed, and then Deepa done, and then what will charge, how to calculate? You don't need to calculate anything, Ravi Kumar. Here it is already there, right? If you see, once you come to your API keys here, right? So see here, usage is there. In the usage, everything will be shown to you. How much you are spending, how much amount of money got spent, it will show you here. That is the reason above the API keys, as you are using the OpenAI API key, right? Above the API keys, whenever you are calling or whenever you are seeing any responses coming in, come to the usage here. In the usage, you will be able to see how much charge, how much it is been able to charge, and how much balance is left. Like in total $5 you have with you, which is a free of cost. How much has been spent in your account? It will be visible over here in the platform.openai.com. You can see in the usage. You don't need to calculate anything internally from your end. You were not there in the last class. I explained it, right? $5 is like a rechargeable one. It's a $5 is a rechargeable. They will give you $5 until your $5 is completed. It will become zero. Again, you have to recharge. It's not like a year or a month, something like that. It's like they have given you $5 for free. You will use how long you can be able to do it. Okay. Maximum time limit will be 1 month for you. Then after that, you can do recharge. Okay. If you wish to, you can put your own money, you can recharge it. And as long as that money is there, you can call API keys. The moment your account balance is zero, either you have to do recharge or otherwise your API key will not be able to work. Okay. It's like a recharge concept, ideally. Okay, so that's how it is basically going to work upon. Okay, how to integrate a front-end chat screen into a website. So if you have a front-end chat screen, let's say if you want to if you want to integrate that, right, you can be able to create your own application and just take again the API key only in the front end. Also, whenever you are creating it with Angular or React or a Flutter framework, just have some space for OpenAI API key. Get the API key and add it in when in your front end. That's how even chatbot will work. But ideally, it's always Streamlit only, which we use it in the world of AI. But if you want something else, then the same process, just you need to take the API key, fit it to the particular syntax of whatever front end framework you're going to use. Either it may be Angular or a React or a Flutter, whatever it may be at the end of the day. Okay. So that's the clarity which we all have to be aware about. So I would request every one of you to complete it. This is a very interesting end-to-end application, and let me know once if you are done with it. Okay, so we have the code available. Okay, you have the important file, which where we have the document. We have the FAQ.txt, which where we have all the questions being added over here. And then you have your .environment file, where you see that within that we have kept the OpenAI API key. And then we open the terminal here. You have to go here and click on terminal, and then say you can open a new terminal from here. The moment you open the new terminal, so it will come up like this. Okay. And here is where this is a command. Okay, I forgot to provide the command, but otherwise I'll put it in the main chat. If anybody is interested, you can be able to use this. Okay, the command is streamlit run. Don't take support underscore bot.py if your file is not the same. Okay, otherwise you need to provide the file name there. See, whatever file you created here as a .py, right? You need to take that file here and say streamlit run that particular file. It will be able to go ahead and run the file, and you can see the output from there. Okay, so that is one of the process which we just want to make sure that every one of you should be here aware about. It's a very interesting case study. People who would be able to go ahead and do it right, you will really be able to say yourself that you have created an AI agent. If you are not able to do right now, that's absolutely fine, but at least try it out after the class is completed. By looking into the recorded session, just try to go slowly one by one. I've given you all the steps where you can easily be able to achieve the AI agent end to end, whatever we were being able to discuss today. After login. No, you should be able to get it. I mean, like if you go to the like OpenAI platform, right? The moment you click on your OpenAI platform, so it will ask you to log in yourself. Once you log into your with your Gmail account, right? So you will see something like this: playground, dashboard, documents, API reference. So here is where you need to click on the dashboard button. So you have a dashboard. You can click on the dashboard option over here. This is where you will see your API keys. And first you have to click on the usage and see that whether total spend is being shown $5 or not. After that, you need to click on API keys, right? After that, you have to click on your API keys and then you can create your own API key from here. Okay. So that's the point you have to understand. Hey, go to the main chat. You'll be able to get it from there, right? Only document and API reference. So I think you are in some other space. Let me share you the URL again one more time. Just give me 1 minute. Let me give you this. Or otherwise, I'll give you the URL directly to the dashboard only. That's better. So that you can use it. Okay, I just shared it. You can just directly open that link, whatever I have shared it to you, Bani Prasad. Okay, it will be helpful for you too. Yeah, sure, not a problem. Yeah. Please go ahead, everyone. Okay. What key part? If I comment to the key part, it will not run, right, Nilesh? If I comment to the key part, comment part will not be executed. If my key is not there, from where will the intelligence be able to come there? Right? If my key itself is not there, then from where will the intelligence be able to come? So I cannot be able to do that. You cannot comment to the key. If you're commenting, you're saying that just stop the intelligence and work on it. Then what is the purpose of doing it? Yeah, Nilesh, see here, it's been very clearly mentioned, right? This is the third time I'm explaining. See, if you observe over here, I already said you here is where in the program I'm saying OpenAI API key. Okay, in the dot environment file towards the left hand side, here is where I'm highlighting here very clearly. Just see, it is loading the key. It is loading the key from the dot environment file where I have already kept the key in this case. So I stored my key where? OpenAI API key in the dot environment file. So now what I'm doing, I'm coming to the support underscore bot.py and here is where I'm saying load my API key which is available in the dot environment file. So I'm mentioning that this is my OpenAI API key where it is there in the dot environment. From there you load the API key and execute it. That is what I'm trying to say in the code over here. So this is the understanding which I'm been explaining from a very long time. Okay, so this is the point which you need to understand. Now, if you are saying me to comment this, if I comment it, then there is no intelligence. If there is no intelligence, then why would I create a model like this or an agent? So that is not possible. Okay. So that's the key thing which we need to understand over here. What else? What else is there as part of the questions with regards to the AI agent which we created as a end-to-end functionality? Quickly. What else do we have over here? You can let me all know. Okay, you got it, Nilesh? Hope you have understood. Let me know if there is anything further you want to ask. Okay. Excellent. Most of you were been able to complete it. Good job. Excellent. How about others? So just you have to be a little bit careful by creating the API key. That's it. Rest of the other things are just simple enough to go ahead and do it. Okay. In the dot environment, okay, in the dot environment, what is that I've given here? If you see very clearly, this is my OpenAI API key. Understood? This OpenAI API key, I kept it in separate file. So now I am coming to my main file. I am saying whatever is there in the dot environment file, okay, here is where I am trying to get my OpenAI API key from here. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. If you wish, you can talk, not a problem. Okay. Yeah, you can speak, not a problem in English. Okay. Secret code. Here I gave you the syntax, right, Deepa? In this case, I gave you the syntax, right? See, in the document only it is there. Dot environment, open underscore API underscore key, same you have to take. In the double quotes, whatever key you created, right, Deepa, that you have to paste it here. Right? Whatever the key which you created, Deepa. So here you just see, you have to copy the same. Create a .env file, take this entire part. Okay, in the OpenAI underscore API key, whatever is there in the double quotes. In the double quotes, you have to put your API key. Here is where your API key will come. Whatever you created. Okay, that's what you need to do it. Just a minute. Where are you? Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Neelesh. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Prashant sir. Actually, I understood you are saying that we are loading the key. That is correct. I fully agree with you. Now you are creating a index from the Llama vector store, right? First you are reading the document, then you are creating the index, and then you are creating a query engine from the Llama object or Llama libraries only. So, but at what point in time we are sending this key is what I wanted to understand. Key is loaded, but where are we sending this key? Or where are we
See.
sending this question to that along with a key? Like,
Okay.
like we send a
See,
prompt.
it will work like this. Okay. First, what will happen is your Llama index will pick the document. Okay. Your Llama index is going to pick the document. Your Llama index will pick the document and it will send it to your OpenAI key. To OpenAI API key it will use and it will connect to ChatGPT. So from the ChatGPT will be able to see your FAQ document. And from your FAQ document, whatever answer it has to give, it will be able to provide it. So Llama index will pick the document. Okay. And then it will use the OpenAI API key, whatever I used it in the code, it will connect to the ChatGPT. After it is been connecting to the ChatGPT, it will then already my ChatGPT understands FAQ, whatever is there as a context. So from there, it will be able to answer. So this is how the flow would actually look like, Neelesh. Okay, Llama index to OpenAI ChatGPT like API key. From there, it will pick up the FAQ. From FAQ to answer. So everything, the intelligence is been totally taken care by the API key itself. That is the OpenAI model, whatever we are using, like GPT-4, GPT 3.5 Turbo, all these models will be available inside it. Okay, now you got it. Perfect. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Neelesh. Okay, hope that answers your question. Okay, perfect. So today, everyone, we were able to go ahead and create our own AI agent. End to end, we were able to create, like where we created our own using the Python, install the Visual Studio Code, and from the Visual Studio Code, we were able to go ahead and create a Python file and then FAQ file, and then we understood how to create a free OpenAI API key where you will be given $5 for 30 days, where you can use and can create multiple API keys and you can use it in your code, right? That is also something which we have discussed today. So, and then later I've also explained to you Streamlit, which is a new feature. And then we were able to go ahead and execute within the Streamlit whatever is required, right? We were able to go ahead, ask the questions from the FAQ, and we're able to see the responses. And then one more good thing is many of you were being able to go ahead and complete it successfully, which is a good thing. Okay, great job everyone. But remaining who were not able to complete it, I would request you to take some time out. Try to prepare it from your end, because this is what is the actual implementation. And if you take some time out and try to learn this, right, you will really be like having an edge in the market, where you will be at the front when compared to others who have not yet known like how these things can be done. So you complete it, and then you will be able to get a great privilege in the AI agentic world. Okay. So yeah, with this, I am done with our today's discussion, everyone. Okay, so just you can be able to go ahead and can try to complete this at your leisure time. So tomorrow we will get started with the Crew AI. Okay, tomorrow the first topic with which we are going to set up as an agenda will be Crew AI. So Crew AI is something which we are going to understand, and then we will be able to take it up further, everyone. Okay, so yeah, thank you once again, everyone, for your time. We will be able to go ahead and then try to connect in the tomorrow's session with the agenda called as Crew AI. With today, we are done with totally Llama Index, LangGraph, Streamlit, creating end-to-end AI agent in the Visual Studio Code using Python. All of them are completed successfully. Okay. So from tomorrow onwards, we are going to create a new AI agent framework, that is Crew AI. And from there, our journey will continue. Okay. Thank you once again, everyone, for your time. And great job for the people who all have completed. People who want to do it later, just make sure that you take some time out and complete this activity. Okay, and just keep practicing, everyone. Thank you once again, and thanks, Sushmita, for facilitating. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We'll meet again by tomorrow at 3 p.m. Yeah, so dear faculty members, it's just a reminder. I have shared the attendance link on the chat. If you have not marked your attendance, kindly mark your attendance. So as we are done for the day, we'll meet again by tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thank you all. Thank you for joining. Have a wonderful day.